Hi, good morning. Good morning. Well, actually, it's good afternoon on the East Coast. So, thank you for tuning in. We are about to get started. All right. So, if you are tuning in for the first time, we talk about finances every Friday at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. And this week, our discussion is about positive ways to spend your tax refund. So, I know for me, growing up, when people that I knew would receive their tax refund, they often would run out and just feel like they just had so much money and they would buy maybe a new wardrobe, buy some Jordans, or they often get a new car. So, and usually they were financing the car. So today I wanted to talk about some things that you can do with your refund that will actually help you and not hurt you. Because when you spend money on a wardrobe, if you can spend some of it on the wardrobe. Definitely don't spend all of it on the wardrobe. But there are definitely some other things that you can do that we are going to discuss today. And I do apologize. I actually am having some sinus issues, so I'm not feeling that great today, but I am still excited about having the discussion with you. And I'm very happy for those who have tuned in. Hi, thank you for tuning in and just showing us some love by participating in today's discussion. If you have any questions, always remember that you can leave your questions in the comment box below. But today I wanted to talk to you just from my heart. What I want and the reason why I'm having these financial discussions, I'm not a CPA, but I am someone who believes in finances. I have from the moment I was a child. I just really believe that people can do more to make their quality of life better with their finances, and the decisions that you make can help your children down the road make better financial decisions. So as a parent, I don't want my kids to live a life struggling. I definitely want them to know the value of hard work, but when they're working hard, I want them to know how to maximize their benefits and use their money correctly. So what I have done, just my personal pastime, is to save money and to talk to others about positive spending habits. And so like I mentioned, I do have some issues going on. So I have on cleverlychanging.com, I have written out a post to just kind of guide you through the talking points that I'm sharing today. So if you go to cleverlychanging.com, you can kind of follow along today's discussion. And if you have any questions, remember you can leave a comment in the comment box. You can also, yes, hi Keisha. Yes, finances are so important. You know, we all can do a little bit better. There's never a point, even Warren Buffett, he's always trying to better himself. So let's just take a few moments and talk about taxes. So if you are a small business owner, I'm sure being a business owner comes with some tax benefits, but I definitely recommend that you get a CPA or you go to your bank. If you have a credit union, they often have a financial advisor there that can really guide you in what you can do. A lot of times the credit unions won't even charge you extra to talk to a financial advisor. So if you are an entrepreneur or a small business owner, definitely talk to a CPA so that you are making sure that you are maximizing your tax benefits, because you don't want any of your money to slip away. So without further ado, I have in that post listed a book. It's called 1,001 deductions and tax breaks for 2017. So here's the deal. Every year, the government allows people to deduct certain deductions. Those deductions they're not the same every year. They change slightly. So it would benefit you to check the book out from the library, especially if you are someone who is financially conscious. You don't have to buy that book. Go to the library for free and borrow it. So definitely look into it, get taxes and financial information so that you are aware. The goal of my talks and my discussions is just to raise awareness about our finances and what we could be doing better. So the next thing I want to talk about is making a budget. I know, like every time you hear a financial discussion, someone is talking about a budget. You don't like budgets. I get it, okay? I don't know anybody who just loves budgets and spreadsheets, but budgeting and spreadsheets are important. So whether it's your thing or not, it is important to do because you need to know what money you're sending out and you need to know what money you're receiving. So there's a budget template inside the post. There's a link to Dave Ramsey's site and it's his money cash flow plan. So he doesn't even call it a budget. So it's because people they hear the word budget and they close their ears. So it's a cash flow plan because you need to know where is your cash going. If you can't list the last places that you spent your money, then you have no idea where your cash is going. So what I want you to do, I want you to download that money cash flow plan and just in 2017, not a moment too soon, definitely look through the spreadsheet and just fill it out the best way you can. If you don't know everything to put on the list, just fill it out to your best ability because now is the time that you have to be accountable to you. Because time is going on and you don't want to be in a position where you don't know where your next meal is coming from. You don't want to be in a position where you're struggling. So it is my goal that you will not have to struggle. I know growing up, I often had to struggle. We had trouble eating. And so I knew from a child, I was like, no, when I grow up, this is not going to be me. This is not going to be my family. And so that is why this discussion is so important to me. And I'm going to share the things that I've learned with you so that we can help each other out, okay? So the budget template is on cleverlychanging.com. Thank you, Keisha, for sharing that. She has shared it in the comment section. You can click on that link and you can go to the post. And in the post, there is a link to the money cash flow plan from Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey is someone who has just made a living saving money and sharing with other people good financial habits. He has a radio show and I really respect his advice. I think that he has some really good, solid advice. In the conversations that I share from week to week, some of my advice will definitely differ from his because I believe everybody's situation is different. We can't all use cash for every payment, and that's not going to work for us. So if that's not you, you have to you take the principles from someone like Dave Ramsey and you apply them to your life. So that's pretty much what I'm sharing. The next thing that you need to do with your tax refund, after you budget, you take a look at that refund and you see how much you're getting and you say, oh, wow, so I've budgeted this. This is how many bills I have. This is how many things I want to buy. This is how much I have for gifts, because some of us, our love language is giving gifts. So that's something that you really want to do. Well, you need to budget for that. You just can't be throwing money at people. So you need to budget for it. So here's the thing. After you do your budget, you need to pay down your debts first. I don't have any debts other than my mortgage. I don't believe in debt. I know that growing up, my mama would always say, don't be a slave to the lender. And I took that to heart. Don't be a slave to the lender. Like many of you, I'm an entrepreneur. So, not having debt is something that is hard as an entrepreneur because you always have expenses. And it's not like you share those expenses with someone else. Those expenses are on you. So what I want you to do, if you are fortunate enough, not everybody is fortunate enough to get a tax return, but if you are, take that time to pay down your debts. Last week, we talked about credit cards. If you have a credit card, I said it over and over. My theme of the conversation last week was do not use your credit card if you cannot pay that balance in full. So with your tax return, you pay, especially your credit cards that have high interest rates, pay as much, if not all of those balances as possible. So my goal for you is that you will get out of debt. If you don't even know the interest rates to your credit cards, that is a problem. Okay? So what you need to do, you need to call those companies and you need to find out what is the interest rate that you're paying. And then you need to pay down your debts because a credit card is simply a loan. It is a bank loaning you money for a short period of time. That is within 30 days, you need to pay it off. So you see all these incentives for using credit cards. Don't be enticed if you are not disciplined. Don't have a credit card if you're not disciplined. The next thing you need to do after you pay down your debt, you need to put some money aside for an emergency plan. Okay? So sure, you want to spend a whole lot of money on things that you want. We all do. But we need to be fiscally responsible. So all of us can't go and put $2,000 on, something crazy like some sneakers or, some Yeezys or something. I don't know. I don't know what people are spending their money on, but that doesn't make sense. But look, you need to know where you're putting your money. And you need to be fiscally responsible. And so to do that, you kind of have to embrace your money. You gotta want it and be excited about it. Know where it's going. Just like you know what your friends are doing, know what your money is doing. All right? So that's what I want to get you to do today. I want you to take a look at your bills, your expenses, and see which one of those expenses you can pay down. This week, I heard the story about a single mom who took her $5,000 tax refund and paid off her rent. Yes, and people, those comments, they kind of range from positive to negative, like everything on Facebook does. But what I thought was beautiful about it was that she was thinking about her future. Now, I may not agree with exactly what she did, but I love that she was thinking about her future. So your money doesn't have to only work for you today. It can work for you tomorrow and the next day and the next day and for your kids and their kids. So listen, if you make some simple, disciplined changes in your life today, you can have money for years to come. And that's the goal. So with that mom, she had put that money on her rent. And I was like, wow, that's a beautiful thought. However, there's some things I would have done differently. You don't want to just give people money so that they can put your money into their accounts and grow interest on your money. No. If maybe she's not disciplined enough to be able to pay that money and put it into an account so that it's growing interest for her. I don't know her personally, and I don't know her situation. But if you get a tax refund, definitely put your money and you paid down your debts, you've done your budget, you put money aside in your emergency plan, you have at least 6 months in your emergency fund. What do you do next? Well, here's what you do. You start investing it. You invest that money for tomorrow, okay? So what I would have told the mom to do was invest it. Let your money work for you, okay? Don't let other people grow on your money because that's all her landlord is doing. just putting that money in some account so that it is accruing interest that they're living off of. So you can do that too. I know right now the interest rates aren't super high. So, if your money is just in a savings account, it's probably not growing with leaps and bounds. But look, every little bit counts. And there are various savings accounts that are right for you and your situations. So if you are a person who knows stocks, definitely invest it in stocks. If you are a person who, and even if you don't know, if you have access, which all of us have access to a financial advisor, if you have access to a financial advisor, definitely invest in one so they can invest in your money, so that they can help you invest. You definitely need to vet them. You need to make sure they're someone who knows what they're doing. I definitely advise you to, if you're with a credit union, that's definitely, a bank that I trust. They're backed federally, so you're not going to put your money in and then, something's going to happen and you're going to lose it. You want to be safe with your money, so you need to invest it. Now, one of the easiest ways that you can invest your tax return is through simple things like your 401k at work. If you are not taking advantage of the different benefits that your job gives you, like a 401k or life insurance plan, then you are missing out. Often jobs will give you, I know my last job, they were giving me 5% on top of whatever I put in there. Don't you realize that that is extra money to your wages? Sure, you may not see that money right now, but your money will continually grow for you. I mentioned earlier, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm trying to, make things better for myself on my own, not, have someone else managing me. Well, that doesn't mean I get off the hook and I don't have to pay my 401k. I don't have to get an IRA. No, I still have to think about my retirement. And you, no matter what your situation is, you need to be thinking about your retirement now. From the moment you begin working, you need to be thinking about what happens next. You always have to project and see what the future is. Don't limit yourself into the present. Think about the future. And so I'm saying definitely find out what IRA or 401k plan is right for you. It's going to be different for everybody's situation. There are two types of IRAs. There are traditional IRAs and there are Roth IRAs. Many of them come with their own tax benefits. So you can actually, the interest they're often tax deductions. So if you are an entrepreneur, I know you're always searching for tax deductions like, oh, can I write this off? Can I write this off? If you have a home, your interest that you're paying on your home is a tax write-off. So you want to look into those situations and see, oh, is this something that I can write off? And so what I love about IRAs and 401ks is that they're often tax deductible. And so that is where, our money, we always having to pay taxes on something, like even when we go in the store, we are paying taxes on everything. So if you're going to pay taxes, you might as well pay things that you can actually write off. So an IRA is going to be money that you put aside to help you for years later. Now, talking about compound interest is a whole nother discussion, but I'm going to briefly state that the money that you're putting in now, just 30 and 20 years later, that money is going to be worth way more because of what is called compound interest. So you don't want to neglect from paying at least something. Look, if you are the type of person who goes to Starbucks, or if you like to eat out at restaurants and you're spending $25, $30 on meals, just think, you don't want to eat your money away. You want to be responsible and put that money into something. I don't care how young you are. I know my great niece often joins my Facebook Lives. And, I don't care if you are in college. You need to be thinking about retirement. So if you have enough money to go hang out with your friends, $20, $30, you could be putting that money in an IRA. So If you have a little bit, put that money aside because compound interest is on your side. You are not too young to be thinking about the future. So that is definitely something that is near and dear to my heart. A little bit earlier, I talked about the last thing that I'm going to share with you about what to do with your tax refund. So I kind of mentioned briefly that you can put money aside for life insurance. Okay. So I said the forbidden word earlier, budget. Then I said IRA, and you were like, this girl's talking about retirement. She's talking about IRAs. This is not stuff that I'm too keen on. Well, I don't care if you're keen on them or not. Here's what you gotta do. And this is not just to you. This is something that I believe in, that I'm doing because I care about my kids. I care about my family. If something happens to me, if something happens to you, you do not want to leave a burden on someone else. You want to make sure that you've paid off your debts. You want to make sure that you have money to pass on in some sort of capacity. So what do you need to do? You need life insurance. So here's the thing. You need to get a good financial advisor, and you need to see what plan will work for you. What is the best plan for you? Because you want to take your money and you want to increase it. The person, one of the financial advisors, he's not even a financial advisor. I highly respect Warren Buffett. I mean, that man is worth billions. And what I love about him is when he started to get started, he was like, I live this, I breathe this. And he put a little bit of money aside at a time. And then he just became engrossed in it, and he just began to grow his money. So here, you need to get engrossed. Yes, he is so humble, and I love it. And he's always giving back. So when you do yourself right, you will have more to give back. So when you're investing in you and investing in your money and not just spending it, don't spend money just because you have it. You will then be in a financial situation and just so stable that you can help others. He's given so much to charities. And I know many of you have philanthropic spirits where you want to give and you want to help other people. Well, the only way that you can help other people is if you begin by helping yourself. So today, I encourage you to let your tax returns work for you. Put that money into some sort of investment where you are growing your money. So my goal is that you're not just looking for what you can spend. You can set a budget. Everything doesn't have to be about save, save, save. It doesn't. I'm more of a save, save, save type of person. But there are other things that you can do to, you can put, you can say, okay, I'm willing to spend this much, but I'm going to save this much. I'm going to invest this much. You need to kind of break it down. And you need to break it down in a way that you're saving, you're investing, and you can spend something. But just don't spend everything. And definitely make your money work for you in the future in some sort of capacity. So if you are in debt, you don't need to be putting a whole lot into any other situation because the way debt works is somebody is making money off of your debt. And so your debt will increase. You don't want your debt to increase. So pay off your debts. Use those tax returns to get money in return. So just because you get a little bit here, that little bit can grow. So I definitely encourage you to tune in again next week. If there are any topics that you want me to talk about, this is what I love to talk about. So definitely send in your questions. You can email me at cleverlychanging@gmail.com. You can hit me up on Twitter. I'm at CLEVRLYCHANGIN. Sorry. And I am also, my website is cleverlychanging.com. I am here to help you. We are here to work together. If I find out information, I'm definitely going to try to share it with you, because it is my hope and my desire that we all do better financially in the future, so that our generations after us can be taken care of. So peace and blessings, and thank you so much for tuning in. I'll talk to you later. Until next week. Bye.